I just brought out some of my stored winter vegetables because I thought it might be fun to review how mine are doing or not doing. Because as gardeners, we all live in different climates, different zones, different countries, and it's fun to compare sometimes. I'm in a zone 5B here in Newfoundland. So some of these are almost to the 5-month mark of storage. But anyway, I'll bring it down and I'll just go through where they're at. My potatoes were pulled September 14th. So on the 14th of January, we're coming up to, that will be the 4-month stage for these. They're doing wonderful, and they'll carry on quite fine. You might start to see them chitting a bit, but so far so good. And if I do see any, there's a little one there, I just pop them off at this stage, but still firm. These have not been washed ever. They look clean, but they just come out of the ground clean in my soil. I brushed them off a bit, but they're not washed. That's going to help. Never wash your potatoes. So 4-month stage, and I've got just one, I don't know, it's like a coffee box full left. So I knew I wouldn't have enough potatoes to get me through to next season this year, but we're going to work on that this year by creating more ground for them to grow in. So dump my potatoes out, and that's all that I have left. My onions also doing well. This is just some of them also. Again, they check them periodically. I haven't had any go yet, though. I just checked the red onions, which I got these ones as sets. Forgot the name again, but red onions never last quite as long. So this one, if you can see, is just starting right there where my thumb is to get a mark. It's the only one I've seen. Obviously I'll use that right away. So you always want to just check. I keep these in ambient temperature. My potatoes are in just slightly cooler, about 20 degrees. The rest of the house is 20. And but the onions and garlic are in just my house temperature, which is, the humidity is controlled, and so it's very nice and dry. Onions don't like dampness. There's someone here close to us that she has a small farm and put all her onions in her basement, and they're already all gone. She has obviously a very damp basement, so not the place to store them. So these are stir-on onions. They're long lasters. They'll be fine. And I only have probably, I counted them actually, about 30 onions left, plus these, so and the red. So I don't think it's going to get me through to it, but I'll come close. My garlic, this is now 5 months. I pulled these in August, and I'm using up the larger heads first because I find the small store longer. I have still 50 full heads left. I'm using an enormous amount of garlic this year, which is wonderful because I had such a great surplus of it, and that's wonderful to do. These tiny little ones I will keep till the end because they last me. I did an experiment, and I had them about 3 heads that I put aside, and they lasted 2 years, and they were wonderful. But this is porcelain music garlic. It's a good storage garlic. It's known for it. Because not always your hardneck, they're not always known for the best. However, having said that, the larger cloves, probably at about the 9-month stage, they're going to want to start to break apart and try to shoot maybe. So I will use those up and keep my eye on those. The other thing about garlic, again, ambient, and don't store them in your fridge. If you put them in your fridge, they're going to think winter. They need cold to create their cloves and grow, and they'll think it's been winter, and they will start to sprout their green shoots out of them. And let's see what else. Oh, my these are the purple Peruvian potatoes. still not too bad. These are not long lasting, and this is all that I have left of these actually here. That's it. I don't have any more. I've been eating them up first and quickly, anytime I can, anytime that I don't need this, the regular type potato. But they're not going to last longer, but they have lasted a good 3 months, I think it is. Let me see, my potatoes, oh no, again, coming up to 4 months, so that's really good. And it's a nice potato. My squash, haven't done so well, but then they don't grow so well here. All vegetables that you want to store, pick them at their prime. That means not too early and not late. It's got to be at their prime for storage. Some people leave things in a bit too long. I notice and I think, ooh, that's not going to store too well. Because, yeah, they could grow a little bigger. Garlic's a great example, but they will not store well. Must be at their prime. It's also the peak flavor too, so that's what you want to go for. So this is a buttercup, very small. Notice the small maturity in all my squash. These 3, all that I have left. So not a huge success, but they were not a huge success growing, but for my climate, zone 5, pretty amazed at how well they've done. Now this is going to last forever. He's as hard as a rock. The red curry or Uchiki curry, this one is going. You see that? So this has to be eaten now. This is the last of my red curry. I had 5 and I've had to eat all of them in the last couple of weeks, which I'm ODing on squash at the moment. They're at the 3-month stage, but red curry don't last well long anyways. They're not known for it. They are known to last 3, but they're picked pre-prime, obviously, but that's because of my frost. This is a Rouge Vif de Tempe, which is supposed to be a beautiful red pumpkin, obviously pre-prime, but has stored well, and it's fine. This one got battered around in the wind, as they all do, and it was scarred, and I didn't think it was going to make it, and it's done wonderful, and it's still going to last for a good while now. They can last months and months more. And then I just pulled some things that I had in my refrigerator still. So this is the last of, and I've already had half of it, of a small celeriac. I did freeze some, but kept many in the fridge. These will store in a nice cool place for a long time. Very good storers if they're at a good maturity date. I've got some green leaves. I just have a few leeks left. They look a bit worse for wear at the moment, but peel the other leaves and they're fine. They're still nice and firm. And I've also cut some of these and they're in my freezer. But this is the last, I have 3 left of my fresh leeks. Carrots, these were also, when did I pull these? October, so about the 10th of October. So 3 months in my crisper, in my fridge. Carrots are still doing well, and I froze a lot of my carrots. Parsnips, I'm down to, froze a lot of parsnips. It's trying to sprout there, that's a good sign, he's healthy. Parsnips last great. They really will do well in a cold storage area, maybe your basement, as long as it's not, again, damp. Or in your crisper. This one's been in my crisper, and I've frozen a lot, so that's that. I picked a ton of greens. They're looking sad and sorry for themselves at the moment, but I'm still using these. These cabbage, one of my new favorites, I didn't realize, is the Romanesca, because I never did get the Romanesca cauliflower or broccoli. But the leaves are beautiful. Love them, love them, love them. So I have 2 grocery bags full of greens that we've been using I've been throwing them in every dish possible as I'm cooking. So I apologize for the lighting, by the way, it's not that great, but that's just a quick run through of what I've got. The squash are kept at room temperature again, ambient temperature. What I had in my crisper in the fridge, My potatoes, slightly cooler temperatures. My onions at room temperature, nice and dry. And my garlic, room temperature, nice and dry. And that's it.